wanted to focus on keeping Russia out of Ukraine. Russia is now in Ukraine. We have a war there. We have a war in Israel. And, of course, China and Russia are closer aligned today than probably they have ever been. And I'm wondering, what is he going to talk about in his speech?
Oh, my gosh. You know, it'll be all magical thinking. He'll say the world is a safer place, that Ukraine is thriving. He'll take credit probably for Israel's achievements, even though President Biden was the one who told Israel, don't do this, don't do that. Israel did it, and Israel had great success against Iran's proxies. He'll probably also talk about his improved diplomacy. He's been meeting. He'll tell you how many people he's met with, and he'll effectively say, well, America's back. I restored American global leadership. None of it is true. And that's why when President Trump comes into office, 1 week later, it's going to be a completely different time. America will change from Joe Biden's failed foreign policies. As you point out, you know, we're potentially in a war in the Middle East. We're in a war in Europe. We're potentially in a war with China, Taiwan. Biden has set the world on fire, and Trump's going to change that. He's going to put the fire out.
What do you think are going to be the very first things in terms of foreign policy agenda items that Trump is going to go after?
Well, as he said already, he's going to say, drill, baby, drill. Now, what does that mean? It means he's going to unleash the American energy industry. So a couple of things will happen. That will be great for the American economy. It'll be really a boom to the American economy. But what it'll also do is affect our global situation. Trump talks a lot about, President Trump says energy, not just energy independence, energy dominance. And that means the United States has the ability to power the world for all of its energy needs for hundreds of years, just with our own stuff. And so President Trump will unleash that. What that does then is it tells the Europeans, we'll be able to sell liquefied natural gas to you. You don't have to worry about freezing in the winter or being blackmailed by Russia. What it does is tell Russia and Iran, look, we're going to be the world energy suppliers, not you. And as a result, you're going to go bankrupt. And what happens then? Well, he's going to push Russia to the negotiating table with Ukraine. They'll find a deal. Then he's going to go to the Iranians and say, look, you know, your prospects are not good. He'll probably unleash Israel on Iran to kind of finish the job of the Iranian, going after the Iranian proxies. But also what President Trump will do, the second thing that's important is trade. Trump understands that the United States is the world's biggest market. Everybody wants to export their goods to us. We don't need to buy stuff from them as much as they need to sell to us. And that gives President Trump enormous leverage, especially with China.
So it turns out that a carrot and a stick in the hands of a smart man is a whole lot better than an expert that's been lying around Washington for 50 years. KT McFarland, thank you as always.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.